welcome back. Here we are with our NCAA Division One outdoor preview for the regional meet. For the men's side, I just want a reminder to everyone: it is a qualifying meet, so there will be no official champion. Just those who qualify. In order to come to this meet for either the Eastern or Western region, you had to be one of the top 48 in your region, and it will be a tough sledding. And this, meet preview will be a little bit small because we're only going to look at the headline stories going in, and there are just a few. And don't want to really compare the East to the West, but there are some glaring differences. Uh, Talented fields again in both, but for example, the sprint depth in the 100 for the East was a little deeper. In order to qualify, you had to run a 10:25 for the East and 10:31 for the West. And although that's very small difference in time, there are a lot of people that can run 10:25 to 10:31, and the East that did not make it. Texas Tech is without its big guns, and just to clarify, this will be our technical first leg, the sprints and hurdles leg. But Texas Tech is missing its big guns on the West. No Terrence Jones and no DeAndre Swint. Keep that in mind. They still have the most qualifiers going into the meet with a total of 37. They are the top team going in to the regional meet, 37 qualifiers. And the top five qualifying programs are all West Region schools. So interesting. Then we look at individually, you have the young hurdler Jacoby Tharp of Auburn. The top hurdler in the country is, in fact, a freshman. In the 400 hurdles, we'll get a chance to see Clement Dukas of Tennessee get his revenge. He did run a 47.6, only for it to be removed and him disqualified for the SEC championship on a technicality. It'll be a battle between Alabama and Tennessee in the Eastern region to see who can qualify the most. The best hurdle program right now has been Tennessee. They have three guys in the top five. Man, are they loaded. And this will probably be the deepest field we see 400 hurdles for men's either side ever. Because we can't ignore Nathan and Ezekiel of Baylor, and then you've got Caleb Dean of Texas Tech, and they're in one region. We're probably going to have two or three guys run 47 in the 400 hurdles at the championship meet. Also, the 4x1 battle in the East region will be interesting, trying to see who does and who does not qualify. A big matchup in one of the heats is Florida versus South Florida. Florida State hasn't been at the same level that Florida has been in a while. In an event that they've been kind of lackluster recently for me has been the 4x1. I saw the team at in person. I posted their winning time on my channel. You see the video. I just don't see them at the same level as they were a couple years ago. I think that's going to change. I think they're probably going to be looking in the transfer portal. They're also recruiting very well. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with Florida State in the future. But I think South Florida is Florida's biggest challenger. They are a better 4x1 as of right now. And Florida has Robert Gregory on their relay, who pulled up in the 200 slightly injured. And we'll see if he's able to compete with Tarsus Oregon of Alabama and his teammate Wanya McCoy. Both are sub 20-second 200-meter runners. It'll be really interesting to see if he can get to that level again. He doesn't necessarily need to be there now. The goal is just simply to qualify. But can he qualify slightly injured is the question. 400, we're looking at Christopher Morales Williams of Georgia. Can he get under 44 seconds? I don't think this will be the meet where he sees it at. Again, it's just a qualifying meet. But I look forward to seeing what he does at championship season meet, or the outdoor championship, excuse me. I think on the West, I think it's, without Terrence Jones, I think it'll be a kind of an open field, but I don't want to ignore the real quality of the West, because although Texas Tech is missing its big guns, there are several big names in the West that can compete. And you're looking in the 100, you're looking at Sean Maswaganye of Houston, the 200 Lance Lang of Arkansas, along with Maswaganye and Devin Augustine of Minnesota. And in the 400, you have Johnny Blockberger of USC. He's been sort of the stalwart of quarter milers for USC. They also have William Jones, who I think will step it up come championship time, but I'm still waiting on Justin Robinson. Not really having the outdoor season or really the year that we kind of want him to have, especially with it being an Olympic year. Maybe he is coming along slowly intentionally to prepare to make the Team USA, but not really having the season that we expected for him to have. Did not have a great Pac-12 championship either. And don't forget, Ahmad Robinson of Texas A&M is also in that field, so it'll be interesting to see what happens come championship time. Can he qualify? Will be the big question. And in our second leg, we'll look at his teammates in the 800. Texas A&M with, I think, three guys in the top 10 in the region. Obviously, they have the top guy in Whitmarsh, who's the only 144 in the country. Um, it's going to be, tough sledding against him. I think he has been consistently top tier all season long, and I don't think that's going to change. Also in the East region, I think that is the deepest region for distance runners. But I think that's also the sign of where, well, I'm not going to say the deepest. I just, it's a deep field both ways because the West has Northern Arizona, Arkansas, Iowa State, Oklahoma State. But right now, the East, North Carolina is the headliner. And you can't ignore that. They have the top guy in the 15, the 5, and the 10K. Literally, they are loaded in distance events. And to my knowledge, none of them are seniors, so they're going to have a strong cross country team come this fall. So I'm pretty sure we'll be mentioning them again. But Parker Wolf is their lead guy, and seeing him in person, again, the way he finished his 5K was remarkable. The speed, the last three laps was just, it almost looked like he sprinted 1,200 meters. Woo, is he talented. So, and then we have Nico Young in the West in the 5K. I'm curious to see what he does. He's only ranked 12th, but again, this is only a qualifying meet. So all he needs to do is get to the championship meet and then do what Nico Young does. And I think he's still the guy to beat in the 5K with Parker Wolf chasing. And then our third leg will move to the field events, and I think this is probably the most weird outdoor season I've seen for men. There is no clear cut favorite in any event other than the long jump. Tariq Robinson O'Hagan is that guy in the shot put, but he's been defeated this year. Rowan Hamilton of Cal is the top guy in the hammer throw, but he can be beaten by Trey Knight. And then literally the only event, and let's not ignore Romaine Beckford of Arkansas, because the Arkansas jumpers are on and popping. But, I mean, you have Apollos Edwards in triple jump. You have Wayne Pinnock in the long jump, Romaine Beckford in the high jump. The only one who's a clear cut favorite is Wayne Pinnock in the long jump. He has been the guy all year long, and that has not changed. And, I think Malcolm Clemens, who's the top guy in the East region, would like to, take back some of the performances that he had at the SEC Champions because he did not look the same. It seemed that everyone else was willing to challenge Pinnock except for him. And I don't think that's really the case. I think the only person who's capable of beating Pinnock is Malcolm Clemens. But right now, Pinnock is the better jumper and has been throughout their careers. So let's see if Malcolm Clemens can step it up. I think he'll be the top guy coming out of the region. Again, he's the only one over 8 meters. So we'll see. The pole vault really leans towards the East region. You have Virginia Tech, a great pole vaulting program with the top 3 pole vaulters. You have uh, Hunter Garrettson of Akron, who I think will do well as the top pole vaulter in the country. I still think he's the guy. Arkansas does not have a top tier pole vaulter. They do have a qualifier within the West region, but it's not the same as the way it had been for the women's program. But I think their jumpers are the lead for them to score most of their points in the championship meet. Then you're looking in direction of the multi-events, and although there's no multi-event competition at the regional meet, they're only going to take, I think, the top 24, Leo Nussbauer and Heath Baldwin of Michigan State to me at the top. And I think Heath Baldwin is ready to really show what he can do. I think outside of Nussbauer, he's the top guy. He's going to be competing in the 110 hurdles, and I think he might actually have an outside shot at qualifying. That's a very tough field. Very tough field in the East region in the 110 hurdles. It's very deep, leading the way by that freshman Jacoby Tharp. But he could qualify in a number of different events. He's that good. He's the better hurdler between him and Nussbauer. And then our fourth leg will be our team battle. And I am really honestly leaning towards looking at Florida versus LSU. I think those are the two best teams in the region, and then the West region, it's Arkansas, Texas A&M, and Texas Tech. Those are the top five programs. You can't ignore what BYU has done. You can't ignore what Alabama has done. But I think when it comes to who will have the most qualifiers, I think it'll be those schools. But not only qualified, those who have potential to score will lean towards those schools. I'm curious to see what happens with Florida. They do have a couple of nicked athletes. So perhaps, 2 weeks off from the SEC championship, if they can just qualify to the national, they'll have 2 more weeks to rest. And then they'll have time to rest before their country's Olympic trials, which are coming up. It's only a month away for the Olympic trials. But the regional meet every year is tough because there's always somebody who's left off. And, I look forward to the conversation on Monday to see, okay, who made it, who didn't, because the team title picture will be shaped based on who qualifies. So that's where we'll end things here. Our next video will be a women's preview. Very similar format. We'll just look at the big headlines going in. But please share the video. Feedback. I really want to hear what your thoughts are. And I thank you for your support, and I will be talking to you guys next time.